they are cleaning up the electoral roll. We just don't get that information. And I know, and you all know, that the Selangor Menteri Besar recently came out and said they found out of 500,000 new voters in Selangor, 28% they couldn't trace. And they wanted to see the Election Commission. But the Election Commission didn't want to see them. Now what? Why is that? This is the Menteri Besar of Selangor. And the Election Commission said, it wasn't your job to go and do a survey. So, what does that mean? Are they prepared to own up to how dirty the electoral roll is? Obviously not. And you know what their answer to the Klang MP was, to the Selangor MP was? They said, oh, many people register and then they move. I can accept that answer if they were registered 20 years ago. These are new registrations. So I don't accept that answer from the Election Commission. But unfortunately, we cannot test it in court. Charles lost because there is a Section 9A in our Elections Act which stops the court from looking into the electoral roll. Do you know when they enacted Section 9A? After the Likas case. Do you all know about the Likas case in Sabah? Are you all following what the RCI came out with? Everything that is coming out in the RCI is what Bersih has been saying. We've been saying the electoral roll has got people there who should not be there. That evidence came out. It proves that everything Bersih has been saying about our elections is 100% true. That's what the RCI says. So that's the electoral roll. But you may say, look, I don't know much about the electoral roll. You know, how do I know that these elections are not fair? Well, look around you. Look at the advertising billboards. Huge billboards on the highways, which threaten us that if you either vote for this party, if you vote for this party, you get peace, keamanan. You vote for opposition, you get huru-hara. Do you see those ads all over the place? What kind of ads are those? Look at the television. How many minutes do they give the opposition? 10 minutes sahaja. 10 minutes sahaja. In fact, I wish they would give Barisan 10 minutes because I'm sick of hearing them go on and on and on and really. And sometimes I do torture myself and watch TV3. It's not because I enjoy it, but we need to know what they're saying. We need to understand where they're coming from. And actually, in Awani, you do get some good programs. But there's no point if they're going to go on and on glowingly about themselves with no one there to criticize. That's no fun. And you're never going to know how good your policies are that way. So, you don't need to know about electoral roll. You just need to look at the media to know that we do not have free and fair elections in this country. It is not an even playing field. Do you like to watch a football match where the playing field is uneven? No. Where one goal is bigger than the other? No. And what about the referee? If you have a referee who cheats, I can tell you there's a lot of noise in the stands. No one will accept that. In a football match, why should we accept it in our general elections? So, we can see so many other ways. I know for a fact that there are people who are frightening our civil servants. Are there civil servants here? Yes. You're not afraid to say, very good. We are grateful to our civil servants who work hard. It's not easy to work in the government service. But don't like the way some of our civil servants are being threatened. We don't like it. Do we like it?
No.
You know how they're threatened? They are told they will lose their jobs if they vote against the government.
Oh shit.
And you will have any number of, am I right? Yes, I know I'm right. Because after I give speeches, I've been around the country, people come up to me and they say, you know, we're being threatened. If we don't vote for the government, we will lose our jobs. And unfortunately, many people believe that to be the case. They believe that to be true, when it is not true. Because the truth is, they can never find out how you voted. Because under the law, your vote is secret. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but actually it is. Seriously. And I'll tell you why. They're taking even more steps this time because of all the noise that we and other NGOs have been making. They're not allowing the clerks, particularly if I'm not mistaken, the final clerk, to have a pencil, a writing instrument, so that they cannot record anything on your ballot counterfoil. And you have the polling agents there who will, of course, be there to make sure that they cannot write your serial number. So, your votes are secret. Please tell your friends who are in the civil service, don't be afraid to vote as your heart and your mind tell you. Not someone else. Not your boss. Not people who are interested in staying in power forevermore. No. You do as your heart and your mind tell you. And that's what free and fair elections is about. Now, so these civil servants are under fear. I can tell you there are many groups of people, and again, because they've come up and told me this, they've said that they have been threatened, that they will lose their scholarships, that they will lose housing loans, study loans. Do you know of such cases? Do you know of such cases? Please, if you know of such cases, do national service and tell them the truth. Tell them they have nothing to fear. Because hak-hak ini dipelihara di bawah undang-undang dan juga di bawah perlembagaan persekutuan. You cannot be dismissed from civil service just like that. I know the procedure. It's not easy. It's not easy. They have to bring a case against you. So, these are the things you have to reassure your friends, your family, that they should vote according to their conscience, according to what they think is right. But this fear campaign goes on. And that's another reason I'm telling you these elections are far from free and fair. It's also this politics of fear that is going on. And apart from politics of fear, of course we have politics, keganasan politik. We have political violence. We've been seeing it from last year. Recently, you've seen it in bombs and in all sorts of things happening. But don't be afraid, because come voting day, I'm pretty certain that it will go off very, very peacefully. And you know why? Because I know Malaysians. Malaysians are peace-loving people. We just want to exercise. We just want to exercise our right, our constitutional right to vote. And we will do that peacefully on the 5th of May. So, that's about the other issues that you see before you, which tell you that our elections are not free. Now, but do we give up hope? Answer is no. And you don't need to give up hope. In fact, there is a lot of hope. Why? Because we can mitigate or minimize all the fraud that they are trying to do in these elections. You know how? By coming out to vote in huge numbers. And that's what 100% is about. We have a project called Jom 100, which is, we want 100% voter turnout. Can we have that? the fraud. Let me tell you, it can be done. It can be done. And we will only bring change through the ballot box. That's all we want to do. Am I right?
Yes.
If you want to bring change, you want to do it through the ballot box. That's how we want to do it. We want to take part in our democracy. We want to take part in the history of this country. We're waiting to vote. Actually, I'm ready to vote tomorrow. Am I right? Are you all ready to vote?
Yes.
All of you have made up your mind and you know what you want to do and you just want to get there and do it. The advice is go there early. Go there early. Before you do that, please check your details on the SPR website. Tolong, semak, butir-butir, saudara-saudari di laman web SPR. It's easy to do. It's important you do it because you need to ensure that you are at the right polling station. Absolutely critical that you do that. Now let me say a word about candidates. The kind of candidates that we have seen, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we have to be the jaga pintu for our parliament. Okay? We got to stand guard at that door. And we don't let candidates who don't deserve to be in there to walk through that door. We do not allow racists through that door. We will shut the door on their faces. The racist apologize. Let him apologize, we can forgive, we can forget, we can pray for him, but we will not vote him in. Because our parliament is ours. Okay? We're not just going to let anyone into our parliament. That's what these elections are about. This election is about our future. Your future, your children's future, your family's future, your children's children's future, and of course, the future of this nation. Now is the time we decide the kind of Malaysia that we want. And let me tell you, looking at all of you, I know exactly the kind of Malaysia you want. You want a just Malaysia, yes?
Yes.
You want a peaceful Malaysia, yes?
Yes.
You want a Malaysia that is not corrupt, yes?
Yes.
There you are. That's all we want. And you're entitled to have it. We are entitled to have that. You want a Malaysia that is built on integrity, yes?
Yes.
On accountability,
Yes.
On transparency,
Yes.
Because we are prepared to be accountable ourselves. We're not afraid. Are you afraid to be accountable?
No.
Are you afraid of being honest?
No.
Then let's throw out those who are afraid of being honest, who are incapable of being honest. Don't let them through that door. For me, it is that simple. It is that simple. So, when I look at some of these ads, you see the ads in the Star, Straits Times, I feel it's insulting my intelligence. Do you feel that? Yes. You see, ads like that say a lot about the people who put them there. It says a lot about them. But it also says a lot about what they think of us. I'm not voting for people who insult my intelligence. Simple as that. We shouldn't. You treat us like children. Sorry. Outside the door, please. We're not letting you in. This is our parliament. Our parliament. And I've been inside that parliament, by the way, when the PSC report was presented. And I was so embarrassed by the conduct of some of our MPs. They just scream. You don't even know what they're saying, they just scream. Because the opposition says something, they scream. They just scream and scream. And you don't actually know what point it is they're articulating. It's really, don't you agree with me, you sat there? I was there for the presentation of the PSC. And I saw these lovely young school children who were brought in there so that they could see what our parliament was like. And I was so embarrassed. Can you imagine what our children are learning from them? And don't forget the women. A shout out for the women. Yes. Can I hear the women in the audience? Yes. Please keep out the sexists from our parliament. We don't want sexists in our parliament. We don't want people who think these jokes, sexist jokes are funny. Sorry, keep them out. Now, at the end of the day, if we don't make the difference here and now in these elections, I fear that we may not be able to make it in the next. But I say that on the one hand, but I also have hope. I have hope when I see Malaysians. And quite frankly, when people say, oh, jangan ubah, okay, takut kalau hara ke ini ke apa, don't change. Why do you want to change? You need to change. My answer is, sorry, we've already changed. Malaysians have already changed. We are not prepared to be fed with video lucha, with pornographic videos. We're sick of it. Yes?
Yes.
We're sick of corruption. We're sick of abuse of power. Do you know that Suguma, who was waiting, who died in mysterious circumstances, they still haven't done a second post-mortem after 80 days, or more than 80 days. Is that even